8 minutes away from going green. Friday night. It's getting a little chilly
fired up
right
for
now.
this race. This is the race that I've been waiting for, Joe. The female final. I love seeing more female pilots at every race that we go to. It seems like it's definitely growing, the female pilot population, which is just good for the sport overall. We got some interesting age dynamics here, though, in this heat. We got a couple of younger female pilots from Korea and Thailand, and then we have a pretty good age gap between Tang Ma and Rura Isabella from Spain. So it's going to be interesting to see the age gap in this final.
There's Isabella on the left-hand side.
Is that Isabella? Yes.
And I believe that
there she is.
Actually she has a situation where she is unable to hear. So you see her look politely to the assistant contest director and to her translator as well. That's her that we're talking about right there. Isabel Villa from Spain. And there she is, Tang Ma from the United States of America by way of Singapore. Matched up versus Seon Park of Korea and the reigning women's champion. Last year, 11 years old in the Women's World Championship. It was hers. Now, a year later, 12 years old. And they lined them up in age and in height as well, SFPV.
She is the pilot to beat. I've heard a lot of good things about the Korean pilot, Seon Park, but I haven't had a chance to see her fly this weekend. Obviously, the Team USA is banking on Tang Ma to have a good performance in this race to boost their team overall score. So we're going to be watching that closely. It's going to be very intense. Sean Taylor is behind her, and he is the most intense human being I know.
Yeah.
So hopefully he's keeping her cool and calm.
We're all intense, and it's a drone race. As you can see, all of the administration buildings, the VIP, even the commentary tent are intense. And I love when they show the pilots and you see them yawning. Now, believe it or not, we are maintaining an efficient schedule. So the clock says that we are going to start at 1:45 at 4:45 p.m. local. So we're under a 5-minute. And all smiles, there's that sportsmanship or sportswomanship that we see in drone racing. And
it's amazing.
Every event that you go to since the dawn, really, of drone racing as a sport, as a competition in 2015, if a pilot has an issue, the first person they can go to is a teammate, but then the next person they can go to is another pilot, because everyone is there to see everyone perform the best, the industry and the sport grow, and it's all about one pilot helping another, isn't it?
That's what keeps us coming to these races. You know, as pilots know, drone racing is such an emotional high and low. You know, the losses hurt more than the wins. You know, feel good. So the community is what keeps us coming back.
And so FPV drone racing, and that's where that first-person view feed is broadcast back from the drone. And when they put those, some people call them VR goggles or the FPV goggles on, they are getting that immersive experience. So it gives everyone that feeling of flight, the immersive feeling of flight. And you know, many of our cousins, our brethren of the FAI and the CIAM know what it's like. It's a love of flight. Even our local organizing committee, their name translated, Star Mach, means the love of fast flight. It's all about that. But there is another storyline here in this women's final. And not only does it take your mind away from the ground, your body is almost in that out-of-body experience as you fly, but also any sport, as you continue to train and practice, and the mantra of drone racing is build, fly, crash, repeat. When we talk about Tang Ma there right in the center of our screen, the story of drone racing is a little bit more than that. She was the wife of Sean Taylor, who's one of the world's fastest pilots. You can see right behind her there. And at this event, he's her spotter, and for many times she was there helping out as he raced. So that's part of the storyline. And they're very excited to be at this race, and they're newly proud parents. They have a son who's only about 6 months old.
That's another dynamic that she's dealing with, being away from her, very young child. I know it's very hard on her, so it's been a tough week for them.
And many people know, and many parents know, the stress of being a parent. And when Tang Ma qualified for the 2019 FAI World Drone Racing Championship Grand Final, she was so happy and the tears of joy were coming down. Is this was a goal she set in April, just after the birth of their child. And between nursing, she would give her child to her in-laws, and she would go to the drone field, get some packs in and go back. That was her release and her separation, but also not only those 10 minutes, 15 minutes of practice, but also putting her mind in the drone and off, because it is very stressful being a new mother. And she set a goal of doing well at International Open and qualifying for this event. And what happened? It was the top woman selection for the national team from the United States of America. Then, I mean, the tears of joy that, so it's a win for the entire family. That drone racing has provided their family so many opportunities. And as Sean Taylor is now in the back of our screen, and I don't want to say retiring, because he was talking
temporary retirement.
He's not retirement, but now
he's
behind the curtain, and she's on the main stage, and really exciting.
He's dedicated all of his time in the last 6 months to training Tang, you know, out of the field, whatever she needs, fixing her quads, training her, being her flying partner. So I mean, that's a strong couple right there. That's a power couple right there.
Exactly. And of course, Isabel Vila. So when you put those goggles on, it's the immersive experience, and all your other senses are heightened. And as we talked about the audio incompatibilities that she has, is you know, hearing impaired, and
she is really in the zone inside of that drone.
And she is. I mean, these are the top 4 pilots from competition, and there were 9 pilots that have qualified on a national team for this event, and so that field has been cut down to 4. Now, the number last year, I believe, was 13 female pilots at the inaugural WDRC. That number's a little bit less than last year. Same as juniors. There were 44 last year. There's 40 this year. And the goal of the FAI and the entire rotor sport and drone racing community is to continue growing the sport. And as we get set to grid them up with Spain's Isabel Vila, USA's Tang Ma, Korea's Seon Park, and the reigning world champion in the female division, Thailand's Wanaraya Wanapong. Here are 4 ambassadors, all with their own stories, all with their backstories. Everyone has a reason, you know, they've come from adversity, and now, right now, at 4:45 p.m. local, one of these 4 pilots is going to be a world champion.
The fastest female pilot in the world.
Fastest female pilot in the world for sure. There's Milk. She could be the first ever 2-time WDRC female pilot. Isabel Villarola, Seon Park, and Milk.
So I saw Milk was running, I think we heard she was running 34-second laps on the track, which is blazing fast. We're seeing about 30-second laps from the male pilots in the knockout stages. So 34s, it's going to be hard to beat. You know, I feel like it's her race to lose here. But, you know, anything can happen. Just want to keep her in your sights for the first couple laps. And, you know, that last lap, if you can see her and have a shot, just go for it. But just stay in the air here.
Thank you.
We're about to launch it. That arming sequence, goggles down, thumbs went up, and we arm and we launch.
Milk with the whole shot. Junebug with a slow start. She's looks like she's waiting for the space to clear in front of her. A little shaky here on the first lap.
And a slow start for the field, even for Milk. She is all over the place, yawing, which are 360-degree turns. So your leader right now, well, she just got up to the #1 spot. So Milk was spilt, and now Milk is up, carrying the flag in the lead, coming out of the tunnel.
Seon Park right on her, though, into the triple corkscrew section. Tang Ma not far behind, though. Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4, and there goes Tang Ma or Junebug. We heard some oohs and ahs off the mic, so we hope she's able to get back up. She will. We're watching her off screen. Count out Seon Park. She's got Milk in her sights.
Small mistake on the hurdle, a triple hurdle, so Hopefully Milk Spotter's telling her she's got a big lead here, about 3 seconds on Seohyun Park from Korea. Taking it nice and safe to that dive. Oh, slight correction here, but she gets back in. Let's see if Seohyun Park pushes it here on the last turn. Looks like Milk's going to take it. Seohyun Park about a second behind. That was I think closer than she would have wanted there, but look at her. She's excited. High five there from Milk to her. I think that's her father on her side spotting. And Junebug just went down, so it looks like Spain's going to take third there. I think she just smiled. I think we just saw a smile from Milk there, the winner. Back-to-back champions right there, Joe.
There we are, the two-time world champion, Milk from Thailand, Wanraya Awanapong, and Seohyun Park pulling up second. Super exciting there, as that is going to give Korea some points as well. Finish up Rura Villa. Isabel Villarula finishing up in the number 3 spot, I believe, and Teng Ma.
So Teng Ma went down. She was pushing hard to catch up with the pack, and she went down on lap 2, I believe. We saw her go down and turtle out of it on that first triangle gate. She hit the top of it. She have that ramp where you have to elevate, and she just didn't get down low enough, for that first triangle. Hit the material. Luckily, it's soft, so she bounced right off of it, landed upside down, turtled, and got back in the race, but went down pushing, trying to catch up to the 2 pilots from Korea and Thailand.
Well, handshakes and smiles, and what you'll be able to see in some of the recap videos is there's no PA system other than the tone up on the stage and the starter. All you hear is the tone, pilots arm your quads and the tone. That's the only audio out there. And so I was watching, and it took me all like 5 days to slide off the side of the stage, and it's kind of a secret, the placing up on the stage, as the team managers sign off on the times, and the audio that is blaring right now through our ears. I've tried to tell the boys in the truck that. I don't know if they've caught up on it, but you can hear the applause. Now they're starting to figure out on the stage, because you can hear a pin drop on the stage during the racing, which is nice, but also after the race as they start to figure things out. But here in the truck, we're having an exciting time, or here in the tent as we follow along. A little celebration. So on the left-hand side of your screen is Teng Ma, 4th overall, earning $1,500 US. Third, right there on the left-hand side of the screen, Isabel Villarola, earning $3,000 and some points as well for her team España. Seohyun Park, that I'm sure we're going to see here in a moment, earning $4,500 USD in prize money. And of course, Milk will get the trophy. She has the title of 2-time world champion in the females division, or women's division, and $6,000 to the good.
36-second lap opener from Milk. Park Si-yeon had a 38. She was trailing by 2 seconds. That last lap, though, we saw Park Si-yeon make up a 1.5 seconds on Milk, and as we saw on the final lap into the up-down gate on that last turn, Milk had to make a turnaround, and Park Si-yeon really nailed that knife edge. She was, man, that was a lot closer than I think Milk would have wanted. But so here we go. We're live on the opening lap here. We got Milk in the blue, and I believe that's Park Si-yeon in the yellow. That is correct. So we're watching Milk here in the triple corkscrew. Nice. You see how she's staying as close as she can to the left pole. That's where you want to aim for, so that's going to line you up good for that last turn, is the up-down gate. And there we go. She's starting to gain on her here. You see the blue and yellow drones together. Milk into the slalom section. Nice hurdle there, making sure you don't clip the top of those gates. And then let's see what lap we're on here. We're going to have to wait till we see the timer on the OSD from these pilots' FPV feed to get an idea of what lap they're on. Oh, looks like they're done here.
Yeah, that's just the highlight reel. I was hoping that you could see the dives, and
yeah, the turnaround.
If you can watch on, if you watch on YouTube, you can actually do the review yourself and play it back from the recording. But she was totally overshooting, like not overshooting, but like when she went to the launch, she would go like way high every single time. I don't know, maybe that's just having some fun up there, but look at the split difference, just under 0.9 and
Come on, you can do it.
2. I mean, that's,
Don't look at
that's
me.
under a second right there.
Yeah.
0.92.
I think what Milk was doing was